All right, we live. Welcome to episode 13 of Feel Free Conversations. I'm Mike Brown. This is James, DatYogaDude Woods, aka James Feel Free. And yeah, we here, man.
Pew, 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 pew. What episode is this?
It's episode 13.
Wow. Lucky number 13. I was late today. 6 o'clock can be harder than 5 o'clock for me because of my
Really?
yeah, definitely. Because I'm in the 6 o'clock come like in the middle of my morning routine, kinda.
Mm,
I gotta hurry up and I try to fit in a bunch of stuff before 6 o'clock. But 5 o'clock during our other meetings, like I'm in a place where I can, do it. So I'm still adjusting the 6 o'clock time, but I appreciate it. Um, Being able to get on here at 6 o'clock and keep it at 6 o'clock. um, so to let go of that feeling of guilt and shame about being late, and come back into being just a person because stuff happens. Let's do a meditation.
that sounds good.
All right. Let's take a deep inhale, gathering in everything we need for this day, this evening, this morning, whenever you're watching this, and then let it all go. Stepping into the knowledge, the fact that we got everything that we need. Relaxing your shoulders and letting your body just come into a natural state of peace, calm, as you focus in on the breath and allow all the space in you and around you to just feel complete, to feel whole. There's no need to rush. There's no need to catch up. There's no need to do anything except allow whatever is here, to be present, to be in this moment. Breathe into your belly. Relax your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your hands. Be present. Be free. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. I think, oh, okay, cool. I thought you froze up on me for a second.
Nah. How you feeling today?
I feel a lot better now, man. I had some releases, some let goes, some conversations, some thoughts. And some, of course, always some stuff I'm still thinking in my mind. But yeah, I had some just all that yesterday and this morning. I was also s- just spent a little extra time in my morning practice today. Just kind of laying in the bed because I know I got a longer day, and then just spending some time in my meditation. It was one of those meditations where I felt like I was able to leave behind the mind and the stress and just go to a different place. And I enjoy being in that place. Um, and then my reading was a little bit longer today. My journaling was a little bit longer today. Just needed to get some stuff out. So, and thank you for asking to even check in and be able to recognize, yeah, I feel good and released today. So, how you feeling today, man? Got the cut,
I'm
looking
feeling
like you're
good.
15 years old.
I'm feeling light. Cutting my hair definitely felt like a release of just energy. I feel like over the last month or whenever was the last time I had an actual haircut, I was just building up a lot of energy and it felt like it just shed it. I definitely wanted to keep it growing, but I think I needed to let go of some energy before moving on to the next phase.
Hmm. That's important, man. I this is kids or whatever watch it. But being able to have a sexual release was important for me. Stuff too.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a while. Uh, parental put a parental advisory on this podcast, but being able to have that just release, letting go of some of that sexual energy that I had too, um, feel like was needed because of my beliefs and stuff about it, and kind of apprehensions about releasing sexually. I was like, yeah, whatever. So,
Did you
yeah, it
manifest
ain't a
during it?
haircut, but yeah, yeah, I did, I did, and it just being able to be like, man, just manifesting, taking it easy on myself. Yeah, manifesting a better sense of who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that Pikachu in the background?
it is.
No. I feel like Pikachu shouldn't hear about this.
How
Um,
how are you taking it easier on yourself? Like, what does that look like?
I said just taking it easy. It looks like me having the awareness of where I'm at in my life right now, and focusing on the fact that I have a life that I'm living, focusing on the fact that I can make a choice anytime to do anything different, and not focusing on, dang, I should be doing this. Why I didn't do that? What's wrong with me? What's happening? So, really, a lot of mental work, and getting to that mental work by the journal, the writing, the conversations. So being, what was the question again? Being what?
Uh, how are you taking it easier on yourself?
Taking it easy on myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Taking it easy on myself by revealing more of myself, sharing more of myself, and being around people um, who are open to share themselves and open to share space with me. So, um, yeah, and when I have that time for myself, not wasting it, like I said, on what I should have, could have did, and what's wrong with me. Just
Yeah,
spending time, just being me. Like, oh, this is where I'm at right now today. This is what's going on. Okay,
yeah,
it is what it is. Um, like I said, that's been something difficult for me. I think for a very long time. So having that time to be able to do that, um, yeah, it's important. Because I started this new job, and it's a transition, man.
yeah,
Just being in the work culture, like it's a whole different culture. Hearing how people
yeah,
talk about time, how people talk about productivity, how people talk about other people, and like it's a different mindset. But I realize I haven't really talked to people in a long time. Like being a solopreneur, I haven't really had space to just kind of talk to people and chop it up. I haven't given myself that. So
yeah,
um, it just felt good to talk around the water cooler too for a little bit. But it's different. I
yeah,
definitely want to make sure my mind stays on what I want to do, and not fall into the working mindset that I don't feel like it's for me. But it is what it is. Just being aware of it.
yeah. And I think, yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because as I've been trying to get back into um, the workforce, I'm also feeling pulled away from it and
Mike,
I've been building community with. You can hear me?
you cut out. You said I heard,
Oh
last thing
damn.
I heard was workforce, and you going back to. Mm,
Yeah, I was saying as I appreciate hearing that because as I'm going back into the workforce, I feel like I'm being pulled further away from it by building community with entrepreneurs. Like I've been connected with more entrepreneurs lately, and it's been making me feel like just stick with it, just keep going. Like somebody told me like, oh, you sound like where I was 2 years ago, and I'm like, and and seeing where they are today, it's like, yeah, just keep pushing.
how are you building community with entrepreneurs?
Um, Reaching out to people, people reaching out to me, with this new podcast that I started, the Creators Toolkit. I think it's really been aligning with entrepreneurs because it is intentionally for creative entrepreneurs. So it's like putting out that bat signal and people being drawn to me.
Okay, so you creating community to connect.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not even in the sense of like you know wanting anything from anybody, just connecting with people,
Mm.
sharing where I'm at in my journey, seeing where they at, and just seeing where we can share tools.
What's been your experience with isolation, man?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Not bad, but
Mm,
um and this has been coming up for me like the last 24 hours to 48 hours. Like I'm very much so a loner. Uh
mm,
even though I do well in community. Because my sister was telling me like she's never seen me as a loner. She's always seen me as a person with a lot of community, a lot of friends and stuff like that. And while I do have that, I do feel um my safest alone. And sometimes when I'm in isolation, it gives me space to focus. But then sometimes when I'm in isolation, it can get to my thoughts. Um, I could get a little too in my head. So really finding that balance and also understanding the why of isolation is helpful for me. So like I said, if I am taking some time to really focus on what I'm doing, I don't see nothing wrong with it. But if I'm isolating because I'm feeling something negative, that's not always the best.
yeah, I learned a while ago. There's that difference between isolating and being alone, and it's like I I know I if I'm isol I feel I definitely have been isolating lately. I was definitely
Yeah.
going through a rough time, and it was like I can't do this. I can't, you know. I know I can't do it. I know how it ends up. I know it. So being able to pull myself out of it and set my life up where I don't. It's kind of my life shows up for me where I pull myself out of the isolation because sometimes you just like, man, it's been weeks. I ain't talked to nobody. I ain't did this. I ain't did that. I ain't connected. And then, like you said, I just keep hearing that same voice in my head. I keep hearing those same thoughts in my head, and it's like, I need some new thoughts. Let me go be around and connect with people and stuff. And being able to reach out even when I don't feel good about myself. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times I isolate because I don't want to be around people when I don't want to be around me. I don't, feel good about myself, and it just be me looking at the world through Instagram, swiping and YouTube and all the other stuff. How do you pull yourself out of isolation when you're there? I know you said you come to the groups and the community and stuff.
Uh to be honest, sometimes I don't know I'm there till I'm in it for a little bit. So like, once I realize what I'm doing, sometimes for me just going outside is enough. Like just being amongst people and not even necessarily
Hmm.
interacting with people, like it could be enough for me. Uh
Hmm.
I think since I've been here in Houston, because I feel like any other answer I would have gave you would have been from another life ago, but in my present life, uh I go to museums and shit. I just go be in spaces where there are people, but not necessarily interacting with people. And it's really just to get inspiration, to feel inspired. You know what? I went for a walk yesterday, like a really long walk, because I was feeling it, like just feeling that isolation in a sense. And yeah, it gave me a chance to just get off some feelings, get off some thoughts, and then insert myself back into the world how I needed to.
You took a walk alone to check in with your isolation feelings.
Yeah.
Did you feel alone when you was walking?
Uh you know what? And when you ask that, I'm like, I don't even think I was really checked into being alone. Like I think I was really more so in my thoughts and also just releasing whatever thoughts were coming up for
Okay.
me, like giving them the opportunity to just go. So it wasn't even about being alone or not being alone. It was just like this is this is space for me to think. Like the house may not be enough, my room may not be enough. So to be outside, it's
Mhm.
like these expansive thoughts have space to expand and go wherever they need to go.
Ooh, man. I went to the beach on Monday and it was like, I need to be in a place that's infinite for these infinite thoughts. Like, I need a place that's going to hold all these thoughts and dump. And I need a place to feel infinite, to feel big as. And, California, we got the oceans, the mountain, the desert, as everybody always say. But I needed to see the ocean and be like, okay, this is, like you said, just dump those thoughts, put it into something I know I can hold. So that's dope. You can that walk, because yeah, I feel that taking them walks is necessary.
Yeah. I really feel like I've used so many of my tools since I've been here. Um,
Hmm.
Revisited old ones, connected with some new ones, maintained some that I've already had.
Hmm.
Like I've literally used every tool that I have here.
That's what's up. um, how how do you know that you use every tool? Like, how did you? Was that an organized process? Was that a thoughtful process, or you just look back and like, dang, I did this, I did that, I did.
I think it's more through reflecting, noticing that. Like I don't think
Mhm.
I mean, obviously I had a morning routine that I was doing that, like I said, I was kind of just maintaining that practice, but like, you know, getting back into yoga for a while. I say for a while because I haven't done it in like the last 3 weeks, but just reconnecting with that was more so like, oh, this is something I used to like to do. Let me try it again and see how it makes me feel. Um, Doing affirmations in the past couple of weeks has been a new practice because I never really did that before. Like, I've done it a couple of times, but to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and say, I started with 7, now I got 9, and actually I may have 10. I may have 10. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I got 10 that I say every morning, and that feels valuable to me. That feels
Mhm.
um yeah, it none of this none of these practices like I really was like, yeah, this is like the keys to success. It just kind of just happened. And like I said, in reflecting, it was just like, damn, I have done a whole lot.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, a big, I've built a lot of those tools, like you said, into my life, into my routines and stuff. And then there's some stuff that I look back at and like, oh man, that was cool. I need to do that. I'm at a rough point where it feels like I've used all the tools and all the tools are like familiar and stuff. And I'm looking, as you say that, understanding that, like I said before, it's about what I'm building. It's not about the tools. Picking up a hammer, picking up a book, picking up these affirmations is not going to be the end all be all in just one time. It's like it's a constant practice with the tools. The tool itself is being able to pick up the tool and put myself in that mindset of like, okay, I am going to do this yoga. I am going to do this journaling. I am going, like, that's a big tool in itself because it has led to some sense of hopelessness of like, man, I used all these tools. I've been to therapy. I read the books. I've been to the seminars. I've done all this and I'm still like this. I'm still having these struggles. I'm still doing that. And it's like, the tool is to keep picking up the tool, and I'm learning that and I'm understanding that, and I'm pulling myself out of that kind of darker space where it feels like, man, I'm relying on the next tool to bring me some light. I'm relying on the next tool to bring me out, and it's like, nah, it ain't the tool. It's the decision to pick up the tool to move on down the road, to keep it going, to
Yeah.
keep living, to keep having that. So it's yeah, I appreciate you sharing that about the tools and developing more tools and all that. But it ain't about the tools. It's about me deciding to pick those tools up and carry it down the road and keep building on that house. So I'm glad to have that understanding right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big tool. I'll go ahead.
Now, what were you gonna say?
A big tool that I haven't used is like I said, communicating with people and isolating, and even our communication, our relationship. Um, I feel like I haven't talked to you as much. I haven't hit you up and stuff as much. And I know we both busy and got lives and stuff going on, but in 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 conversation with what you shared earlier about through text with Chad, Hugo, and Pharrell and their relationship, um, I think it's very important for me to be able to talk to Mike Brown
Yeah.
and have these conversations and stuff. And I know I know we do this. We have our Wednesday, and then we have our Fridays and stuff like that. But it's been some moments where like, man, I need to call Mike, and it's still I can sometimes fall back into like, man, I don't want to put this on him. I don't want to da 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 da. Because sometimes it'll be like, man, I need to call Mike, and it's because something going on with me instead of, man, I'm just calling and check in on Mike, and I feel guilty about that. You know, I don't want to dump. I don't want to be a burden, so it makes me isolate and stuff. And I know that's a thing for a lot of people, feeling like a burden and all that kind of stuff. And but just being able to connect on a regular, and I know I'm going to hold space for you as well. Um,
Yeah.
but I think, but yeah. So I just bring that up for our relationship and communication, and for all the other relationships, I need to make that phone call and check in with people. But why did you send me that article about Chad Hugo and Pharrell? And could you let people know who Chad Hugo and Pharrell are?
Yeah. So Chad Hugo and Pharrell are the Neptunes. Probably one of the greatest hip hop production teams of all time, but also just like best friends since high school maybe. And they are in a legal dispute for the name of their production team. And like, so much is like doing weird shit that seems immature of like, unfollowing each other on social media and shit like that. And it's like, um, that is for me, it was disappointing and it was sad to see just
Mhm,
because one, I
mhm,
am I am a fan of these guys, but two, like I really envisioned uh creating a world of my own in the same way that I saw them of like doing things with their friends, like, producing for their other friends and like, just giving creating opportunities for their community. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Their immediate community. So to see it dismantle in that way, it was disappointing and it did make me feel like, it did make me think of like our connection or like just my connection with, some of my other friends like
mhm,
Sean or Byron or somebody like, you know, how would I want that situation handled? Because I think I have so much love for y'all that
mhm,
I don't think I would let it get to that.
mhm,
You know what I mean?
mhm. Yeah, and I agree, and it's they are dealing with a monster of money and fame and a lot of other things that can fuel their ego. And I don't know if they had time to talk about that and to express that and to go into that. I don't know if they were really, really good friends or if they were just production partners that, hung out and stuff. But, you can see their lives kind of going in different ways. And especially with the prominence, I like that word, that Pharrell got, and Pharrell, he was the face of the band. He was the face of the music and everything like that. He fit in different ways. And it seemed like the other guy kind of just chose a different life. So it's like, how can we stay connected even if it's not through life? Because, high school, college, working together, like you share a life together. You always see them memes about my work wife and my work husband and stuff like that. Like people share lives. I've been at the
Yeah,
job 3 days, and it's like you already get a sense of people and connection and stuff like that. But how do you share more than a life with somebody? You know what I mean? Because that feels weird even saying it because you think about life partners, you got your partner and everything like that. Um, but it's like your friends are kind of your life partners, and maybe even I think friendship it has to be like everything has to be spiritual. You know what I mean? Where we can get past our egos and our minds and get into a space where it's like, hey man, this is you here for a reason. I'm here
yeah,
for a reason. What can we do? Because going into a lawsuit and stuff, and I don't, I don't know what it is. I don't read into it. Like, are they asking for more money? Are they after? Are they using the name or whatever? But it's like it's something of this world, and if y'all came together and made music and blessed millions of lives, that came from another world, but y'all fighting in this
right.
world.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I said, it's sad to see, and I think of if I were in this situation, and even just in situations I've been in, you know, prior, I think I care about people so much that even like something like this podcast is like fuck this podcast. If it was too serious for
Mhm,
our connection, or if it was too much conflict for our connection, and even on the business end, like I really do feel so much abundance coming to me that like whatever type of business you would want to do, like I'd be open
mhm.
to it just because yeah, I don't want that conflict. You know what I mean?
Right. And if conflict comes, I don't want it to compromise our space to be able to deal with it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
Because life happens, conflict comes,
for sure.
but you know what I mean? Well, what do we put how do we and I think that goes back to how we live our life and how our relationship is, our respect for each other, our respect for ourselves, where conflict is going to come, but you know what I mean, What are the
and I
spaces
and
that
I
are creating?
and I guess more so than the conflict is like I wouldn't abuse anybody that I care about, and I don't and
Mhm,
to you know, to my knowledge thus far, I don't think anybody that cares about me would abuse me. So I feel like
mhm,
it's something that could be figured out in
mhm.
any situation. Like it not and I don't even know if it's a simple thing, but just like I think it could be figured out and not look so petty, you know?
Yeah. It and from the outside looking in, it don't seem like any of them initially was like, "Hey, I'm gonna abuse you." It seemed like this belongs to me. This is mine. This is what I did. This is my part. This what I see you got. This is what you see. So it looked like a difference of opinion that um a difference of opinion that was also fed by some feelings that was there for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, but one or the other was feeling some type of way for a long time, and they didn't express it, and they let it fester. And that's something that I really, 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 really have to continue to work on, of not letting feelings fester and turn into situations where my behavior becomes petty and all that kind of stuff. So, what I mean? It's so important for me in this relationship, in every relationship. If I feel something, I have to say something. And I
Yeah.
know, like you said, and I think that's where the abuse has to come in, or the lack of the commitment to not being abusive, the love, the respect have to come in. I'm going to say something, but not say it in a way where I'm abusive to you or myself.
Yeah.
But if it's like, man, I feel like I got to say something, and I don't want to be abusive with it, I'm still learning how to do that. I'm still really learning how to do that, how to feel like I can say something and then not get to the point where it's abusive because I've been holding on to it for so long. Because if you sue your brother, y'all been rocking it out in high school, y'all came up together, y'all. That's that's different.
It is. And again, it's like, you know, that is crazy. But then also, I read a little bit of it and they were saying basically like Pharrell just trademarked the name you know, without him, basically. So like he just took the name on himself and it's like, that's crazy too. you know?
That
like
is. That is.
I I guess if you're taking it legal, we gotta go legal, but it's like, nigga, that don't make sense. Like you built this together.
Right.
Why would you all of a sudden, I mean, after like what 20-25 years, take solo ownership
Mhm.
of this? But I don't know.
And to me, I think that speaks on what you're talking about that community, because that sound like he was in a community or people in his ear, like, for real, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to trade, mark this, that, to make it happen and stuff. And it's like, um, kind of stay being in those communities, keeping your mind and your ideas and stuff fresh and moving forward, but also staying grounded, staying true to yourself. Like, because you know in your heart of hearts, you would not be there without Chad Hugo. So
Like
why
I
play
I
them games just because you know what I mean?
I love Pharrell, but the nigga put out an album today, and it's like, nigga, did you drop this album just to to like distract us from all the other shit that's going on? Nigga just had an album on tuck and was
Wow.
like, fuck it, just put it out.
Yeah. And that does, if and then looking at Pharrell outside in, he in a new position with Louis Vuitton. He's at the upper echelon of the hip hop and stuff like that. So I'm just imagining you got people in his ear. Oh man, you can do this and you can move like that, and that'll get
Mhm.
you another 100 million, and that'll get you that, and that'll get you that. And it's like, yeah, you getting all this stuff, but remember how you got there. Remember who you were. Remember, you know what I mean?
And hearing you say that makes me think about like, how do you know? Like, what is how do you know when your number is enough? Like, you know what I mean? To not get caught up in
Mhm.
greed. Like, how do you know when it's enough?
Yeah. and even beyond the number, of course, the monetary number, but even all the other stuff,
Yeah.
the fame, the notoriety, and stuff. How do you know when it's? I think I think that's a good point. It becomes enough when you feel like you got to make that decision from. I guess I don't know. That decision. If you coming up to those decisions where you got to leave who you, I don't know. I don't know if because it's some kind of like I said conflict in there where you like, man, this will get me more, but I got to cut my partner out of it. You know what I mean? And it's like, because I definitely understand letting some things in relationships go that are not serving you as far as your development and stuff. But is that a relation? I don't, is that a relationship? If letting that relationship go is going to just get you more money, if it's just going to get you more
Yeah.
fame, you know what I mean? But you losing a whole lot more. Um, yeah, it's like, how do you stay aware of that? How do you stay in that and you're not just caught up in, man, I'm becoming more of, you know what I mean?
Like I get it. Like, is the money more valuable than this relationship? Is the fame more valuable than
Right.
this relationship?
And then if you do it, if you just drop it on somebody, like, hey man, if somebody reading the paper that what they worked on is now being trademarked by somebody else and y'all haven't had no conversation, everything like that, it's like, is the money worth your integrity? Because you're wrong. If you know you're wrong, you know what I mean? If you know you're wrong, is the fame and the money and all that, is it worth your integrity? And if you have to question your integrity, especially with somebody who has rocked with you and who has known you for a long time and been with you through all this and all that, and now it comes up to, oh, this is mine because I did this and do that. Like, y'all gotta have a. I saw some business owners that they had therapy together. They went to business therapy together. So they was running some company and they, will go to a therapist together and work stuff out.
I think it's so funny. I've only done my second session of family therapy, and that makes so much sense to me. Like, I
Oh,
think
y'all did.
therapy is very important for all relationships. Like, not
Mm-hmm.
just partners, not just family. Like, it might be some therapy for some friendships as well.
Mm-hmm. If you value that relationship, I think it's important to look at it from multiple ways.
Yeah.
Um, and I think this is a good time to let people know what you got going on because I got to pee real quick.
So, if y'all are tuned in, make sure you also check out the Creators Toolkit. It is a podcast by myself and Yanni Blue. We are creative entrepreneurs, and we wanted to create a resource for other creative entrepreneurs just to support you in your journey. Whether you are a painter, an artist, or working in some type of creative field, and your art may not be your main source of income. We want to support you and showing you how we are trying to make income. My goal this year is five streams of income. And right now I'm starting with merch. Merch is the first way that I'm trying to create a new source of income. If professionals, other artists, people in fashion and design to really understand how can I be successful in this. Um, the podcast is fun. I'm actually releasing some new merch this month. So check it out, yanniblue.etsy.com, or you can go to justmikebrown.com. I'm going to start uploading some more designs and merch up there as well. And yeah, like I said, help me build those five streams of income. I also have a Patreon, uh, all that stuff. I do consulting for podcasting. I produce podcasts. I'm an educator, a thought leader. So, if you want to book Mike Brown for any of those services, I am here.
Why would I want to help you get 5 streams of income?
Cause nobody likes a broke artist. No, why would you want to support me? Because shit, I'm contributing to your life as well. Like, you know, doing these lives and doing these podcasts and stuff like that. Commitment. So if you feel like I'm adding value to you, I don't see anything wrong with pouring value back into me. Now, if you want to work with me, the reason why you should work with me is because I bring a very unique perspective, shaped by my life experiences that you won't get from anybody else other than me. It's gonna be real, it's gonna be authentic, it's gonna be raw, it's gonna be vulnerable, and it is going to be packaged with care. So that is why you should work with me.
All right. And how do they work with you again? I missed that part.
Uh
Where they go?
www.justmikebrown.com. You can fill out the little form. There's a form that says "Let's connect." You can fill it out. We'll schedule a meeting and we'll chat.
It's dope, man. Cool. Um, are you complete?
In this moment, yeah. In this
Cool.
moment, yeah. Should we do the actually how's the yoga challenge going?
Um, on the back end, I had some parts missing, so people weren't getting emails. So it's kind
Mm,
of, I had to fix some things and stuff. So some people are getting them, and I had to resend the link and stuff like that. But I'm gonna do it again. This is day 5, so the people who are getting them, let me know how it is going and stuff. Let me know. Let me know. But it's put together. I'm in, and you can join anytime. So you can join now, and then you'll have 30 days of yoga with me. So join now, and then let me know how it's going with your 30 days of yoga. It's all there, it's put together. It just, it was a link that I didn't click or whatever that I didn't make happen, but it's there now. So go get you 30 days of yoga with me. Um,
that's dope.
yeah, go get you 30 days of yoga with me, and then make sure you bring me to your school, your organization, so we can make sure your staff and your students feel free. Because ain't nobody make money like people who are free.
Man.
Yeah. 3 questions. We gonna jump into it?
Yeah, you want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. So sticking with the theme, favorite Neptunes beat.
Doom, 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 doom. Ooh, girl, man, that's on fire. I couldn't. That's a hard one. That's really a hard one. That's what just popped in my mind first. But that one, what, what? I don't even know what song that is. I just remember that beat.
I think it was called "Light Your Ass on Fire."
Okay, yeah.
Um, Snoop and the Neptunes or Jay-Z and the Neptunes?
Snoop, Snoop. It just Nep Snoop and the Neptunes just feels really good. Just feels really good. Jay Z is kind of thinking about some stuff and all that. I can't even. I can only think of "Excuse Me, Miss." Oh yeah, "Excuse Me, Miss." What else? And Change
Allure,
Clothes. Yeah.
Change. Yep.
Mhm.
Um, Last
Definitely
one,
Snoop.
Pharrell or Chad?
What's the black dude name? The other dude.
Shay.
Shay. Shay all the way. Shay all the way.
That's what's up.
I would like to hear his thoughts on it. Like, y'all need to
They
sit
ain't even
down, have a talk.
they ain't even include me.
Right. Shay, man, get your boys together. Y'all sit
Yeah.
down. Go have a pizza in Virginia, man. You know that's your role. Do what you need to do, Shay. What is your Uh, what is your experience with mental health?
Um, my experience with mental health. Shit, I started in 2012 or 13 with therapy. And you know, it's so many other ways to take care of yourself, but um yeah, I feel like my experience is constantly growing and always evolving, but fully invested. That's the best way I could describe it.
Um, how does your mother like your haircut?
She said she liked it. Yeah, she acknowledged it during our therapy session that she liked it.
um, wow. What's been the most fruitful thing? What's been the most fruit you received this week? Like, you've been putting in
Hmm.
work. What has been the fruit of the work you put in just this week?
Maybe oh, that's a good question. Maybe launching this podcast. Um, I'm very proud of it. I like the way that it's laid out, how it sounds, and just building something again from the ground up. Like I'm excited about it. Like it feels good, and it sparked new energy in me of like, you know, when I did my first podcast, I wasn't really tapped into the growth. I was just tapped into doing it. But like, I'm invested in that extra challenge of like, oh, how do I grow this? So um I feel excited about that right now.
It's dope, man. And what is the name of the podcast again?
The Creator's Toolkit.
With Mike Brown and Yanni Blue.
Yes, sir.
I'm just realizing y'all colors, brown and blue. Never realized that. Um, Dope, man.
That might be like fire merch colors like brown and blue. Those two colors go well
Mhm.
together.
They do. Remember them Air Forces? I think they were like the Gore-Tex ones or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about? Did you have them? Somebody have them. Had them.
I probably had them. I had everything. No, I think I did have a pair. I used to, man, I used to go crazy with shoes. I'm glad I'm not. But you know what's funny? I'm saying I'm glad I'm not there, but I got about 8 pairs of shoes right now. I got one pair of brand new shoes and I ain't never wore. I paid, but you know what? I'm shit. I bought 2 pairs of shoes for $60. When was that? Last year.
Man.
And I love them Adidas. I love them Adidas so much. And the other ones I still haven't even worn. And they a shoe that I like. Like the model of the shoe is a shoe I like, but it just hasn't spoken to me to wear them yet. But brand new shoes, $30, and they really like a $120 shoe.
Oh yeah. I'm the same way. I went to Vans and it was a sale. I got like 4 pairs of shoes for something, and yeah, it feels good.
I've been wanting a pair of
Yeah.
Vans.
I feel like I like them too. I wear them to my job. Make them fit my job.
That's
But
what's up.
yeah, I feel like I haven't had shoes in a long time, so I'm seeing the shoes I have. I haven't gotten rid of shoes, so I got old running shoes because most of the shoes I've had have been athletic. But yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be able to put clothes on again and stuff too. It feels awkward because I'm like these clothes don't fit right, and it's like because I'm used to wearing shirt and yoga pants or sweatpants and shorts. Now I'm going into the office and I'm in the I was within the C suite yesterday, the CEO, the CFO, and the COO, and I'm like, yeah. And then they ended up being human beings. So like, okay,
That's
they
dope.
got pants on and hair and stuff too. So
That's
it's
cool.
like, yeah, and I'm not far off in age from them and these people. So it's an interesting place being in the workplace with adults and realizing like, oh, you an adult too.
Yeah.
You ain't you ain't entry level at the no more. You with the you know everybody got grays and bald and been around. And it's all good, We grown.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Um, yeah, yeah. Also, I'm gonna put out there. We looking for an intern.
I own that. I appreciate that. Because my barber literally talked to me about that yesterday. He told me you need to get you an intern. So that feels like synchronicity. So yeah, we are looking for an intern right now.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. For the art of letting go network, I think a intern would be dope. So, what are the things an intern would need?
Uh Creativity, care, and yeah, some of their own dreams and goals. Cause I definitely would like to, you know, help somebody build in their dreams as well.
And time, and a computer, and a
Yeah.
phone, and access to AI.
Canva or Adobe Express, some graphic, skills, some basic video skill, just enough to create social media posts and shit.
Yeah, and an open mind.
Yeah.
So if you are in marketing school, if you are in art school, if you are in social services and mental health, and you're interested in working with James Brown, that's funny. James Brown and Mike Woods. Yeah, if you're interested in being a- if you're interested in letting some stuff go, definitely check in. You can email Mike Brown at where.
Info at theartoflettinggo podcast.com.
Yeah, and we are a nonprofit, so you'll get credit for towards your master's, your bachelor's degree, or certification. Um, maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. You'll just get credit with the universe. Nah, we'll show some love, man. We really, if you intern, we show some love. We ain't gonna abuse nobody. We've been there. We all been there. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in. This is episode 13 of Feel Free Conversations. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. Whenever you tune into this, just enjoy your life. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
And as always, feel free to feel free and namaste. Peace.